finally. I just... This song goes every time we do
It
this.
really does. We're gonna have like a ton of bloopers again.
And welcome back to my channel. I am here with Brittany again.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about the episode 4 and 5 of WandaVision.
WandaVision.
So yeah, we're here to talk about WandaVision. Where we left off. So we did make a video about our thoughts about episode 1 through 3.
Yep.
So I will link that below, and you guys can check it out if you haven't seen it. But yes, we are here to talk about episode 4 and 5.
Warning, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you haven't seen 4 or 5, yeah, you are now warned.
Alright, so I guess our first thoughts, right?
Yes.
The first thoughts of the fourth episode. That basically, I'm just going to put it out there, that basically answered everything we said in the last video.
I would like to state for the record that I was right about everything.
Don't brag. For God's sakes.
I could brag if I want to. I was right.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, okay. So yeah, basically everything we said in the last video actually came true. For both episodes, honestly.
True story.
And I basically watched the episode 4 and literally just sat there and laughed and was like, we just told you guys the whole episode, honestly.
You're welcome. So, episode 4 was a flashback to like the beginning of everything.
Of before
what was
Wanda
happening
and all that,
behind the scenes and what.
Well, also it picked up right where when they
the blip.
Yeah, whatever that's called. When they defeated, I don't know what it's called. All I know is it's when after Thanos was beaten and everyone came back. That's where that episode picked up.
You mean when Tony Stark did the snap and returned everybody and all that stuff?
So you have to remind me?
Actually, it was when Hulk did the snap. That's when it happened.
Is that what it got?
Yeah. So Hulk did the snap and that returned everybody. And then Thanos attacked the Avengers.
And then they reversed everything.
They reversed Thanos and all that.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Endgame.
I have a well of useless knowledge. Anyway, so the episode 4 was a flashback. And it starts off with everybody returning after the blip. I don't know if that's what the return was called or whatever, but everybody ashing is called the blip. But, so we start with Monica.
Who we find out is who? I don't remember her name.
So Geraldine it turns out it's Monica Rambo, which if you've seen Captain Marvel, you will realize you know that name because Captain Marvel's best friend was named Maria Rambo. So that makes Monica her daughter. Which I knew the entire time. So.
Which, in the episode coming up, or the episode 4, they mention Captain Marvel.
They did.
And she kind of gets this funny look, so that's interesting. Yeah. But I'm going ahead of us, so.
So we find out that, so Monica returns in a hospital, and she's kind of freaking out because her mom isn't there, because she doesn't realize that she's been gone for 5 years. Which is really sad because, like, it's sad.
It is sad.
Because she finds out her mom died, like, 3 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. Yep.
And it's really sad because she didn't actually get to say goodbye to her mom, which I heard a theory. So, you know how in Endgame, Captain Marvel is off-world?
Mm-hmm.
So I heard a theory that Carol purposely went off-world because she couldn't stand being on an Earth that Maria wasn't on.
Aww.
And I was like, that's so
sad.
Beautiful. But yeah, I was like, oh, that's really sad, but also like really sweet, like in a friendship, like platonic life they might have been dating, but nobody knows.
We're making this a sad.
Anyway, so they kind of fade out on that, and we get our first look at Sword.
Yeah.
I forgot what Sword stands for because I meant to rewatch and write it down, but I forgot. So, but
it's a long name like Shield. Yeah. That's all I know.
It's like sentient something or other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
But we find out that Maria, Monica's mom, had a hand in starting it, which was really cool to find out. And also, yeah, that was amazing. I really liked that idea that she started Sword. So, Monica gets back to work. She finds out there's a missing person.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to check it out because she's been grounded from space. So she ends up traveling to this place called Westview.
I think it's Westview.
And she meets Woo. I love Woo.
I didn't realize who he was until later.
You didn't really?
Because I watched Ant-Man, but it's not one of my favorites,
yeah.
So I kind of just watched it, but I don't know, I watched it once.
So I was really excited because he did the card trick that Scott taught him.
Oh.
I was like, he learned that from Scott! And I just got really excited about it. So, Woo, that was a nice little cameo from Ant-Man and stuff. Anyway, so he is talking to police, but the police say that Westview does not exist, which is hilarious.
Because it's right in front of them.
Because the sign is right. It was behind them, but...
Oh, well, whatever. It was right there.
And so Woo and Monica do some flirting, maybe a little bit. No, just kidding.
I don't remember flirting.
I mean, he was trying to be helpful. And
that's not flirting. That's being nice. It's like us, Minnesota nice.
Anyway, so Monica and Woo team up and they try to figure out what's going on with Westview, which is right in front of them, but nobody thinks it exists. So Monica steps forward. It's not there. It's not there. So Monica steps forward and she kind of sees a little thing. It's like a
static thing?
Like a force field.
Sort
of I couldn't think of the word. It's kind of like
static?
Yeah, it does make the staticky noise.
It does.
TV static.
TV? I feel like I just did an Elvis.
But, so Monica approaches, even though Woo was kind of like, yo, dude, this is kind of weird. We should probably not do this. And Monica gets sucked into the force field. But my first thoughts of those scenes were, I was right.
See, I didn't know who Monica, she was, so I couldn't say if I was right or not. But 90% of what she said in the last video was right. I know crap.
But yeah, I was right. It was Monica. She was slightly undercover in a way. Because she is a sword agent, like I thought she would be.
But Sword didn't send him in.
That's
Someone
true.
brought her in.
That is true. What I want to know, because they haven't said who it is yet, but Woo was going after a witness. Somebody that was in a witness protection.
Yeah.
And they never specified who it is. And I heard a few theories on this. It could be somebody from Ant-Man. It could be an Avenger of some sort. Not Wanda, obviously. But, he was coming from Oakland, though, and I had the hilarious thought of what if it was Luis? What if Luis just pops in one of the episodes and it's just and then tells, a really long story?
Yeah, I don't think we want that.
That'd be hilarious. At the end of it all, just have Luis recap everything.
That might be a long recap, though.
That would be a really long recap. But, yeah, I want to know who the witness is. It's you. It's you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's me. So she got sucked in.
Yeah.
And then we go from there. Which I'll be honest with you, I already forgot the episode other than the pieces that are important.
So she gets sucked in, and then Wu calls pretty much Sword,
and then
Sword brings everybody in.
And then it goes from there, where it picks up kind of, or it goes kind of with the story of what we saw in the beginning.
And, like, I was right about the drones.
Yep. So they went through that, about how they tried to get in there with the drones.
And they turned into little toy helicopters.
Yep.
And we found out who the B-Man was.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw that as like, it's not as important as we thought. It was just Sword.
Which I actually did hear that there might be something more to that because we haven't seen him again.
True.
But I don't know for sure what's going to come of that. So we found out who Geraldine is. We found out they brought in Darcy Lewis from Thor.
I knew her instantly because you can't forget her face from Thor.
I was really excited about her. And her and Woo's like back and forth is just so funny. Like there was a scene where she's like asking if he wants some or something and she's offering him a chip. And he like goes off on a tangent and he's like, "Oh, you mean a chip." I love it. They're just so, like, I don't know. They have a really good friendship going.
They do.
And I want to see more of that. So, anyway, they brought in Darcy. Darcy is now a doctor. What?
I always thought she would be a weirdo the whole time. I never thought she would be a doctor.
Right? Like, good on her, though, for becoming a doctor. We find out she's a doctor, and she finds a wavelength within the perimeter thing that's going on with the town.
Mm-hmm.
And so they find out that there's a TV show.
I never, like, that's the weirdest thing that happened in this episode.
It's a TV show within a TV show.
The fact that she was like, oh, there's a TV show, and they pull it up and it's Wanda, and it's like, that is just the weirdest.
Yeah, it's like
just
TV
how
section.
weird that is. But then again, the whole situation is weird.
I mean, we are in New Jersey, so that accent was appropriate.
But we're not physically in New Jersey.
No, we're not. I honestly don't usually care for flashback episodes, but I'm really glad that they did this episode because it answered all our questions. It showed what was really going on behind the scenes and who these people were that they showed little snippets of in the before the credits. You know, Darcy closing a notebook on the TV screen as the credits roll, you know, stuff like that. And it was just like, yes, I needed this because I needed some answers before I lost my mind.
Yeah, especially because they started off so weird. Like, you start off the show where it's like, you're like, what the hell is going on? Why is all this weird stuff happening? Like,
yes.
And especially the first episode, because most of the episode is a sitcom version.
Yeah. Until
the end, and that last little piece at the end where
exactly.
it gets weird and things get out of control. It's just, you're like, what the hell? So it was nice to have this episode where they told you exactly, and especially through the timeline of what you were just watching.
Especially since they showed you, like, exactly when this happens.
Yep.
Like, it's a few weeks after everybody's returned, so, you know, everybody's going through a lot of stuff currently. You know, people are coming back to jobs. They're losing their jobs. You know, it's crazy. And, like... yeah, it was just really good to see, like, to realize when this actually is happening within the MCU. And, so, anyway, continuing. So, their main objective is trying to find Monica within the world that's been created in the TV show.
By Wanda.
Yep. And they find her, but she is not Monica, she is Geraldine. But yeah, they follow her story, you know, they try to figure out, like, how to get her out now that they found her in the story. And then all of a sudden, something weird happens, which we all saw, and it kind of reverts back to the Wanda story, right? Like, at the end of that episode where they eject her?
No, kind of. I don't think there was a lot of WandaVision.
in that episode at all.
Well, I don't know, but like when it showed that she, like, because they, on the TV show, it showed she was like, I think you need to go home, and then everything reverted.
Oh, yeah.
And then we saw actually what happened, like.
But like as she was booting her out. Yeah, okay.
And
That's
Wanda's
not a very big part.
It was like.
It was like literally the ending of the episode.
Yeah.
So.
And Wanda was like, you don't belong here, you are not a friend, blah, blah, blah. And uses her magic to expel her from the reality that has been created.
Mm-hmm. And that is the end of episode 4.
Yes.
Which, as we said multiple times already, that literally answered every question we mentioned, or everything we mentioned in the last video.
Yep.
It answers, like, the bee guy, the helicopter, I don't even remember what else we talked about. And there's some things that in the next episode have been answered in our last video as well.
Well, it explains, like, why everybody is acting so weird, because they're not actually...
Especially the last episode, the 5th episode, really explains what's going on.
Yeah, like, I mean, these people are regular people that were just living in the town, and...
And now they're being controlled.
Yeah. Okay,
right,
moving on to
episode 5, since we've already kind of talked about it. 5. Alright, so episode 5 literally takes us back into the sitcom.
Yep. And it was was this the Full House episode?
Yes, it was, because when they did the, like, intro, it was very Full House-ish, especially when they're sitting at the end where they're on the, like, the thing.
That's why I was asking, because that totally just made me think Full House.
And the only thing is like, it's only 4 of them, so it's not like a Full House where there's, like, like 8 of them or whatever.
I just think it's funny because Elizabeth Olsen plays Wanda and her sisters play Michelle.
I didn't even think about that,
it was like a little kind of...
But yeah, this was the Full House episode because you also had the twins.
Yep.
So that fit in with the Full House theme.
That's true.
Yeah, I was sitting there when I was watching the intro. I was like, "Oh my god!" And then they're twins. So then and then I love Full House. So that was kind of my geek out moment there. But so it was the sitcom. We go back and we get to see the boys. What age were they at first?
So
6,
they were babies first.
Well, yeah.
And they hadn't slept for days, and Wanda was getting irritated, and her magic was not affecting them as it should have.
Yep.
Which I thought was like... And then all of a sudden the boys are 5?
They're like 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're like 5 or 6.
Because then later they go up to 10.
And they're so adorable.
They are so cute.
Oh, I thought it was so adorable.
But it's really weird how they can just grow on their own. Is that like a theory there?
I feel like that's part of Billy's abilities with warping reality. Which, I mean, because she actually tells them, like, don't grow
age.
Anymore. Yeah.
Just, like, stay at your age.
Which, okay, so, but the weird thing about that part is Agnes, because in the beginning, when she enters the home and comes out to the babies, she's, like, talking, sorry, this is, like, all fresh, because I just watched the episode this morning, so she comes up to the, Wanda, and is like, hey, let me help, blah, 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 and Vision's like, nah, fam, and Agnes is like, do you want me to do that again? Because that's not how this is supposed to play out. And I was like, huh? What? Excuse? Agnes knows what's going on? What?
So Agnes knows, and it's, I didn't even think about that. Like, I thought it was weird that, like, she did that, but I was thinking more...
Well, and then more weird stuff happens because the kids grow up right in front of her, and she's just there drinking, like, kids... And you're just like...
You're like, but there's something going on with her. She's got...
Wouldn't you be freaking out more?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to share a theory with you.
Okay. Fun. Theories, guys.
So, I have a theory about who Agnes really is. And if you are interested in the character, I suggest going to Google her because I don't actually know much about the character besides that she's kind of powerful. So, my theory is that Agnes is actually Agatha Harkness, Because if you take Agatha and you take Harkness and you remove some letters and smush it together, you get Agnes.
I don't know who that is.
But she's supposed to be like a really powerful like magic person. Which would explain why she knows what's going on and possibly could have a hand in what happened at the end of the episode.
What happened at the end again? I forgot. Oh,
Are you serious?
Hey, I watched it this morning and then I worked all day,
Yeah,
so I kind of, my brain's fried.
But yeah, so that's my theory on who she is, but I don't know for sure. I'm gonna definitely look more into the character so I have more information about her, but that's who I think it is, and that's my thoughts on why she knew what was going on and why she knew that they were in a show.
So, the Sword tried to bring in the plane, brought the plane in, and,
That was towards the end, though.
I guess it was. I mean, I guess after all kind of that, like, the kids, they told the kids they couldn't have a puppy.
Until they
were
were
10, and then they aged to 10, and so we went through that. But then right after that...
which, if you think about it, Agnes brought a doghouse for them, just as they were figuring out that they were going to keep the dog.
There's another theory that she knows something. There's something going on with her.
Because she always brings in what they need.
Yeah. But I think in between, or like around all that's going on as well, Vision ends up going back to work.
Mm-hmm. Even though it's a Saturday.
He goes back to work, and that's where he's talking to one of his coworkers.
Is it Norm
or something like that?
I think it's Norm.
And then I don't know what changed. Why did he?
It was an email, but it was for Darcy.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, okay.
And it was about the Maximoff anomaly.
Yeah.
And Norm is like, ha ha ha, it's funny, what are we going to respond back with, ha ha ha, and he's making a joke about it, and then Vision kind of does his mind thingy on him, and Norm freaks out.
He like reversed what Wanda did to him, and he freaks out, and Vision's confused as hell.
And he's talking about how she's controlling him, and
can't see his family.
He needs to contact his dad because his dad is sick, and everybody's freaking out, and then Vision turns it back on, and Norm is like, ha ha ha, it's a joke, ha ha ha. Awkward silence. Which is what the TV show was.
Pretty much. That's pretty much. So that happened,
so
and then
Vision kind of figures out that
something's going on, and Wanda's controlling something.
Yeah.
But he doesn't understand what, because he doesn't have any memories.
Yeah,
which we find out about
which
that.
we found out, and I was like, oh, poor Vision.
So he has no idea that he died, that she brought him back, nothing.
Which we found out because they flash back to Sword and how Wanda... Oh, wait, that happens after the plane, right? Like, the plane comes in and she freaks out.
I'm drawing a blank. Can you tell on my face? I'm like, what?
So, what happens is Wanda is home with the boys, and they hear a noise, and they walk out, and Sparky, which is the puppy, gets out with them, and we see Sword, a drone from the 80s, I guess is what they said.
Yeah.
Which is funny. So, they have the drone from the 80s fly in. Wanda is looking at them, and Monica tries to talk her down and try to get her to see some sense into what she's doing. The boss of Sword decides to make a terrible mistake and shoot at her.
Yep, that's the dumbest thing to do.
And everything goes blank. The screens are static. Monica's freaking out because she's like, what the crap? Like, I was just trying to talk to her because she's my friend now, you know? We're allies. And I was just like, why would you do that to one of the most powerful people on the planet right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's insane. And
how would you do it at all? She's obviously, like, if you know the history of her, you know she's...
even comment that she's one of the most powerful. Like, she could have taken down Thanos by herself.
Yep.
They made that comment. And I was just like, that's right. Why would you piss her off?
Because she almost did. Her and Captain Marvel almost took him out.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of it, I was in my shirt.
I got
Okay.
WandaVision. And so anyway, everything goes kind of staticky on the screens and everybody's freaking out, and then all of a sudden they have a breach, which means somebody's coming out of the town. And here comes Wanda, fully suited, with the drone in hand, sparking with her magic. And she has her accent, guys! She's talking in her original accent. It was amazing to hear it. I'm so glad they went back to that, because it was weird to hear like somebody from Sokovia not have an actual accent like she had before. Mm-hmm. It was really awesome.
Isn't that after the first Avengers movie she was in? She had it there, and then people were talking about how she didn't have it in other movies.
Yeah, like she had it in Age of Ultron, and then like it kind of like disappeared, and it was like, where is it? Like, you should at least have like kind of a
accent.
Yeah,
kind of a
hint.
There, yeah.
And like it was definitely there, and I was really excited to see that, and I was really excited to see her just being
normal Wanda. Because, you know, to be honest with you, like I told this before, I wasn't a big fan of the first 3 episodes, so it's been, these last couple have been great, because it's like, wow, okay, this is...
I like that it's meshing.
It's meshing, and now it's not so as much of a sitcom. It's more, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen next, sort of deal, and I do prefer that better than the beginning, so...
Yeah, and it was just great to see her, like, using all her powers, and like the different ways she can actually use them. Mm-hmm. And
because we never really got to see her full power extend with the Avenger movies.
Yeah, like, I mean, in Age of Ultron, she kind of twisted their minds to make them see their fears and stuff like that, make them see their dreams, whatever. And Civil War, she moved stuff with her mind. Mm-hmm. She even says, you know, I can move stuff with my mind.
And then, I mean, Endgame, when she tries to take Thanos out.
Those moves are crazy. She's like, you'll know who I am, or something like that. Like, oh, she's so amazing.
But like, you don't know how, like, her mind, full extent,
like, how much her mind powers work, how much she can extend it, you know, what exactly she can do with that. And like, it was very interesting, especially since they found out that she's not just messing with people's minds, but she's actually bending reality. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
With the outfits and the wardrobe and the hair and all of it, which I think her sending Monica out of the thing, with her hitting her with that energy from the stones, because like she had the Mind Stone, I believe, which
I don't remember.
Reality Stone. It was a Reality Stone. She had the energy of the Reality Stone, and I think when she hit Monica with it, I think it did something to Monica, and that's why they hinted at something going on with her, like in her scans and stuff, which I read up on all her powers, so I'm hoping this is when we get to see a superpowered Monica, which would be really awesome. But Monica tries to talk some sense into Wanda and explain that she's an ally, and Wanda doesn't want to hear any of it, and she turns the guns on the boss guy because he was stupid and shot at her. And he kind of deserved it.
He did. He really did. He's kind of a jerk.
He is kind of a jerk.
Kind of reminds me of, like, some of the S.H.I.E.L.D. people are jerks. Like, on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've had some, I mean, it obviously goes into depth on S.H.I.E.L.D., and some of those people are a-holes.
I really didn't like, the Patriot guy. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, but he wasn't really S.H.I.E.L.D. Am I thinking of this? Oh no, wait, him. I'm thinking of the guy with the mustache. That's not him.
Who are you thinking of?
The guy who ends up being the bad guy at the end of season 5. It's the general. He's got the.
Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking him, but he's not the Patriot. That's a different. Yeah.
That's a different guy.
I know who you're talking about now. It took me a second.
The guy that was in charge, and they called him the Patriot or whatever.
Yeah. Because wasn't he, like, went in the framework or whatever, and he became more of a super hero
soldier guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think he was a jerk and he deserved to have the gun pointed at him. Which I thought it was kind of interesting that it kind of shut off when she went back into the area. Like, as soon as she went back in, all the people that had been kind of mind controlled just was like, I'm good.
I'm done.
So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot in these 2 episodes.
Yeah, there is. So then we go back into the episode. The
WandaWorld, as I would call it.
Oh, that's a good one. WandaWorld.
Yay, I just said something smart.
Anyway, so we go back to WandaWorld, and we find out the boy's dog is missing, and they're trying to search for him, and they're coming up empty, and then suddenly Agnes shows up with a bundle, and we find out the puppy died.
Well, didn't they show up at her house?
Yeah, I meant, she kind of came out of the bushes.
Okay.
You know, it was kind of weird how she just, appeared out of the bushes.
That's true.
Why did she not come out of the house?
Yeah, she's weird in general.
Yeah,
so.
But she popped out of the bushes with a bundle, and it was the puppy, and the puppy had died. And the boys were very in distress, and they were trying to get their mom to bring him back. And she was trying to tell them and explain grief, which I found ironic because the reason that this world exists is because Wanda is not dealing with her grief.
Well, but you also see that she's saying this, but she's also realizing what she's doing.
That is true.
So it was
kind of ironic though that she was saying this to the boys and how they need to face their pain when she made an entire world.
That's true, yes. Very true.
But yeah, so the boys, they were going to age up, but Wanda talked them out of it, so they are still 10-year-old boys. Vision pops in, and he figures out the situation, and then we kind of, skip to the house, I think. Is that what happens?
Honestly, I don't remember. I'm horrible at remembering small little details.
That, we kind of have, a change, a scene change, where they are in the house, and Vision walks in, and you can see his hands are dirty. So obviously Wanda did not resurrect the dog as she has some people. Which I thought was good on you for knowing your limits, lady.
I don't know. I think she's past her limits.
Yeah, that's probably
technically. And that's probably why she's like, I shouldn't do this again.
Yeah.
Just get him another puppy. It's
not that hard. True.
Just buy him a golden, or pop a golden up because she's in control of everything. So just boop.
So
there's another golden. Oh,
Wanda and Vision get in a fight.
I thought they were gonna go at it, man.
I thought they were gonna fight. But I thought blasts were gonna start going.
I did too.
I was waiting for it. I was like, superhero fight.
But it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
They just got really angry and floated in air.
Yeah, and we're like... But they got in a fight because Vision knows that Wanda has a hand in what is going on, and she is in denial and continues to say she has nothing to do with it, but you can tell by the look on her face, she knows she does.
Yep, she knows. She knows it all.
And then
the big bang.
There was a knock on the door, and they're still fighting, and Wanda's like, I didn't do this, and we're like, but did you, or did she not? But she hasn't opened the door, and everybody's like, open the door, lady.
Who's everyone, you?
Yes. I am everyone, okay? I was like, I know who's behind this door, I need to see him. So... they open the door, but they don't show the face immediately. And everybody is, watching from Sword, and they're like, what? And, you see Wanda's face, and she's obviously in shock over who's at the door. And you're just like... And then they show silver hair, and you're like, Is that? Did she? Yes, Pietro is back. But... they recasted Pietro.
I wonder if the other guy didn't want to do it.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't know if this is true, but I heard he had contracts for other movies, and I don't know what happened. But the thing is that this Pietro is the Pietro from the Fox X-Men movies. So I also know that this show is going to be going into the multiverse of madness. So this could be a way for Disney, Marvel, Fox to integrate the Fox X-Men mutants into this part of the MCU. And could it be Wanda bending reality, or could it be somebody else bending reality? Take Agnes. Anyway, yeah, so Pietro's back, but he has a different face, and even Darcy pointed out, did they recast Pietro? And the answer is yes, they did. Which I was like, I don't know who I like better as, because, I mean, we have more experience with Evan Peters' Pietro.
Yeah.
And so I like his humor, but at the same time, I kind of wish they would have shown more with the Aaron. So yeah, I was kind of hoping they would do more with him, but I kind of see why they did it, because they just got the rights for Fox and all the X-Men things. So why not try to integrate that universe into this universe?
Too bad Hugh Jackman isn't going to be Wolverine.
That
Would be so amazing to have him combined with those.
Also, we had another commercial. Did you notice it?
No.
So it was for Lagos paper towels. Do you remember the place that exploded?
No.
It was Lagos. She exploded Lagos.
What's Lagos?
The place in, I think it's the beginning of Civil War, where they go up against Crossbones. And she pushes him up in the air and he explodes and kills like a bunch of Wakandans. Yeah, I was like, could possibly be pointing to the fact that the commercials are hints at what Wanda's been through in her life, like I said in the first episode.
So, those are all 5 episodes.
Yep. So
all
far.
5 episodes. We talked about 2 of them.
2 episodes.
4 and 5, but technically we talked about all 5. So
yeah,
we ramble a lot.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
bear with us. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Like, I'm gonna butcher his name. Pietro. Pietro.
Yeah.
See, I'm horrible at this. But she was right about that. Even from our last video, she predicted he would come back. She's like, I think he's going to come back. I don't know. I don't think he will. She kind of doubted herself in that
I did doubt myself.
video.
I should never doubt myself.
And he came back. And she was totally right. So the first time when I saw that, I started laughing. Because I was like, well,
I did right. too. Because I was like, oh, I called that.
Well, funny enough is I didn't watch the episode right away, so a lot of people were talking about, like, so-and-so comes back. I was like, I bet it's him. I bet she's right. And, yeah, sure enough, I watch him. Oh, yeah, okay. I had just the hair gave it away for me.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Like, as soon as I saw it, but I wasn't sure if they were going to use, because I know I heard that Evan Peters had been casted again, but I had hoped that it would be Aaron Taylor Johnson, but at the same time, I was like, I know it's Pietro as soon as they show the silver hair. So what I'm hoping is in the next episodes, because I know the Halloween episode, which is the next one, is going to be huge. So I'm looking forward to that. I just worry that what's going to happen if Wanda loses this family.
Yeah.
Because I really think that will break reality.
I
can't wait for what next week and the week after is.
I think there's only 8 episodes, but I don't know. We still haven't looked that up from the last video.
Yeah. I know there's only it's either 2 or 3 left, so.
But yeah, so we may only be doing one more video after this. We kind of close off the WandaVision stuff. And then
is it Falcon and Winter Soldier next, or is it Loki?
Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think, it comes out in March.
Yeah.
I don't know if Loki has a premiere date yet.
I don't know when Loki's coming.
Oh, wow. So Loki comes out in May.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it wasn't going to be until the fall.
Oh.
But you got Falcon and Winter Soldier in March, and then May is Loki.
Yeah, so we'll probably only have like a couple weeks in between.
Yeah. So, wow.
We're going to be busy.
All right, so that is it. If you have any theories of your own, suggestions, comments, whatever, make sure to leave them down below.
You want us to watch?
Any shows you guys want us to watch, because we will gladly watch a bunch of shows. If you liked the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow her on Instagram and TikTok. I will leave those below. And that is all. I will see you guys later with another video.
Bye.